Welcome to the Unfuck Your Fitness podcast. I am your host, Christy Castillo, and I'm here to give you real talk and cut the BS so you can actually enjoy building a body you love. I'm a personal trainer obsessed with giving you simple action steps to take you from feeling stuck to feeling sexy. Let's go. What's up, guys? Welcome to the first episode. I am so excited to have this new platform to be able to talk to you. I have been wanting to start a podcast for years. And honestly, it was just one of those things that I was scared to death to do. And I kept putting it off and I kept using the excuse of I don't know how and who am I and all of the things. And so finally here we are. And I am just so excited. I feel like this is going to be so much more intimate, just one-on-one. I can just sit and chat with you, be real about all of the real topics that will affect you in your health and fitness journey. You can listen to me when you're in your car, when you're at the gym, when you're on your way to work, when you're on your daily walk, when you're waking up and getting ready for the day, cleaning the house, whatever. You can take me along with you and I can drop something to inspire you weekly. And I'm honored to be able to do that for you. Some of you already know me and some of you don't. My name is Christy Castillo and I am the host of this podcast. I am an online personal trainer. I am 40 years old. I am a wife and I am a mom of 2 teenagers. And of course, those are just a very, very few things about me. I will be sharing a lot more about me, of course, as we go on in these episodes in these weeks, but that's a very, very brief overview. Today, I want to talk in this episode about my fitness journey because I want you to really understand what I went through, how I went from trying to eat clean, trying all the fad diets, trying to understand what would work for me and how I was failing at every single thing that I was trying and still not feeling comfortable and confident in my body. How I went from that to where I am now, where I'm able to eat any food. I understand how food fuels my body. I'm not scared of food. I lift weights. I'm confident and I help other women do that same process. And mostly I want you to understand that I have been where you are and I have felt how you feel. And I think that's really important for you to know that I've not always been where I am right now. I know your struggles. I know that in this lifestyle, when you make the commitment to, try a diet or decide to get healthy and fit and change your life, change your lifestyle in any way, really, it can be lonely if the people around us aren't on cue with exactly what we're doing or they don't have the same goals as you. And it can get really lonely and you can get in your head with a lot of negative self-talk, a lot of doubt, thinking that you're not seeing results fast enough, or maybe you're not seeing results as fast as a friend of yours and comparison. So I want to be here to guide you through those days and to really give you knowledge so that you can be more confident instead of feeling stuck. So you can know that you're on the right path and stay consistent with that path. And I want this to be the place for you to come and I want to be that person for you. So my own journey with fitness started 13 years ago. That's a stinking long time. So I can't shove all of the things that I went through in those 13 years into this one episode, but I'm going to hit the high points to make sure that you know, like I said, that I've been where you are. When I first started, probably just like you listening to this, my goals were to look better, to feel better. I had just had a baby 6 months ago, and I also had a toddler. My daughter was 2.5. So my goals were to look toned, to get back to spending time on myself, to lose some weight. And that's where it all began. I had absolutely no idea how to reach the goal of losing weight and getting toned, to be honest. I was a runner. And so after having my daughter, I resorted to running to get back into shape and I was busy enough and that worked for me. And after having my son, it was winter. This was December and there was no way I was running. I'm going to be honest. I will not run outside unless it is 55 degrees or warmer. I am not a winter runner. In fact, I don't do cardio much at all anymore. But back then that was not an option. So my husband and I committed to doing a 90-day workout program. And I'm very, very thankful for this 90-day workout program that we committed to in more ways than one. It taught me so many things. It taught me negative things, traits, and habits that I had to build myself out of that got me to where I am now. And so I'm very, very thankful for this program in more ways that I can really probably count. But I want to go into this program specifically so you can understand where I started and what it caused, and then how I got to where I am now. So this program, like many you probably have done or purchased, came with a weightlifting and HIIT workout, which is high intensity interval training, 7 days a week. So the weightlifting and HIIT workout program, there was workouts 7 days a week. And it came with a meal plan that consisted of a list of certain foods that I was allowed to eat. Next to each food, it had a portion size of that food I was allowed to eat. And then there was an overall amount of a number of each of those portions I was allowed to eat daily. That might be a little confusing, but basically I was supposed to do a workout 7 days a week. And I had a list of foods and a list of portion sizes that I could eat from based on my goals and my body. And so we committed to this program for 90 days. We pretty much stuck to the program. I'll be honest, we went through a home foreclosure and we ended up moving out of our home into a different home during those 90 days. So things got a little rocky, but we were committed and we stuck to this program as best as we could. And at the end of this program, we were really proud of ourselves. Our bodies looked a lot different. My body changed dramatically, and I was very lean and I was very toned and I had abs and I looked really good and I was really proud of myself. The thing is that I had no idea how to keep up this body unless I was working out 7 days a week and eating foods from this list. In other words, I was restricted. I didn't know how I was going to keep this up without doing this program. So we continued to work out like this all the time for an hour a day, pretty much 7 days a week. We ate the list of foods, and this went on for years until it seemed as if we couldn't do it anymore. And my husband and I both fell off the wagon. I hear that term a lot as an online coach. I fell off the wagon. I fell off the wagon. I was eating Oreos. I love Oreos. I was eating Oreos nightly by the stacks. My husband and I would laugh. We would pick up our Oreos out of the package, set them on the table in a stack, and we would just kind of laugh at like whose was taller. And so we started doing this kind of eating again, of course, because we felt like we were restricted for so long eating foods off of this list. And now we were sick of that. We wanted to eat foods that we enjoyed again, but we didn't understand balance. We actually thought, like most people, that we could get results eating off of a list and working out constantly, or we could eat our favorite foods and work out on occasion, if we felt like it. And so eventually I became sick of that as well. I felt like crap. I was eating like crap. I wasn't confident. And so I wanted to get back into the routine. The problem with that is, and you may have had this happen to you as well, this becomes a cycle of starting again on Monday. So I'll start on Monday. I'll get back to the grind. I'll drink the water I'm supposed to drink. I'll eat the foods I'm supposed to eat, pretty much clean, quote unquote, healthy foods. And I'll work out every day, starting on Monday. And that works till about Wednesday or Thursday. And then you get hungry and you want your foods again and you're tired and you quit and you, quote unquote, fall off the wagon and you'll start again next Monday. I was stuck in this cycle for years. And that is where, somewhere in that cycle is where I began to realize this is not going to work. We tried the clean eating off of a list, working out 7 days a week. We tried the eating whatever we want, stacks of Oreos, kind of going for a walk, going for a jog, incorporating some workouts, weights, and that wasn't working. And there had to be some sort of in between. I kept seeing people, mostly online, that had the body that I wanted, and it seemed to be eating foods that they loved, that I loved. And I didn't understand how they could look that way, seemingly be happy about what they were doing in life, feeling good and still eating the foods that they loved and that I wanted to eat as well. And that introduced me to the world of macros. if you aren't familiar with what macros are, we'll be talking about this a lot in future episodes, but macros is the breakdown of calories into macronutrients, proteins, carbs, and fats. And your body needs a certain amount of those. And so I started to research macros and figured out that this could work for me, but I also wanted to make sure that it actually worked for me. I knew that in theory and scientifically, it could technically work for my body. This is what I needed to have the body that I wanted, but I didn't just want to have the body that I wanted. I wanted to have the body, sure, not be in peak tip-top shape, but I also wanted to be able to eat the foods that I love and have that balance and really fix my relationship with myself. I wanted to do this with a lot of self-care and do it the right way finally. And a lot of that comes from a little bit of what I left out of the story is I went from being, eating off of a list, working out 7 days a week to falling off track and eating Oreos by the stacks every single night. And somewhere in there, I developed some autoimmune digestive issues. And this was really hard, obviously, in more ways than one. But what it really taught me was that health is so important and balance is so important. And I can't just be pushing my body 7 days a week and eating off of a food list and thinking that that's healthy. I really needed to incorporate a lot of balance and a lot of mindset work. And so that is really what I set out to do. And I guess call me stubborn, but what I wanted was to have it all. And I wanted to help other women do that as well. I knew that from the very start, but I knew I had to do it a different way than, what you were seeing on commercials for different diets and even what you were seeing online at that point. I didn't want to do it that way. I really wanted to teach my ladies everything I wanted. I wanted to teach them balance and how to do it once and for all and how to incorporate foods they love and stop cutting out carbs and stop cutting out Oreos. And so that's exactly what I did. It took me a lot of time and it took me a lot of patience, and it really was worth the struggle. And that's what makes me so thankful that I did go through the 90-day workout program where I was being strict and stubborn. And then I, tried to eat paleo for a while, and I tried to eat vegan for a while and Whole30 and, counting points and eating my foods out of portion controlled colored containers. I tried all of the things and they weren't working. And that makes me really happy that I did those things, even though it also frustrates me that I wasted so much time on those things that are like flashy objects and people just wanting your money or people not telling you the basis of the keto diet and Whole30 and what those diets were created for. So what it boiled down to for me was a lack of education. Once I started being educated and knowledgeable in these topics, I was able to understand how I can treat my body better, how I can quote unquote have it all, and how I can teach my ladies to do the same. And that is exactly where I'm at today. So I hope that really gives you a good understanding of all of the things that you have tried to lose weight and all the times you've been frustrated and thought that it was you that failed and you can't stick to a diet and you'll never be able to lose weight and you can't do this. I hope that you realize right now, as I'm telling you, it's not you. It's not your fault. It's the diet's fault. You weren't doing the diet wrong. You probably did the diet right. The diet was not made for sustainability. And that's what I want to teach you throughout these podcasts and really give you the knowledge behind what's happening in your body and why you need certain amounts of food and why you need to lift weights and how you can have it all. And most importantly, how you can love yourself in the process. I'm really big on teaching my ladies to love yourself right now and kind of do what I just did there. Be thankful for all the times that you did a diet and you sucked at it and you thought you failed. Go back and look at that as a learning opportunity. And as I teach you the things that you need to do to actually see success, you will begin to understand why those diets didn't work. But you can also appreciate the experience that you had while doing that diet and what it taught you. I also want you to know that it's okay to love your body exactly where you're at right now and want to change it. I was never completely disgusted with my body. And I think that's part of the reason that I just kept going. And I know there were times that I looked in the mirror and wasn't happy with myself, but I always thought there's a way out of this. I can figure this out. If they can do it, I can do it. And that's a very important step is to be able to love yourself where you are, be thankful for the process, but know that you can improve and you should improve and you can get healthy. And you should get healthy and you will get healthy, but loving yourself in the process and doing all of these things out of love and positivity for your body instead of out of hatred and negativity for your body will make the process so much better. It will make you so much more motivated at the end of the day when you don't want to get a workout in, but you're doing it because you love yourself and you can. That makes the process so much sweeter. And when you get to that end goal, it makes the end goal so much sweeter as well. Speaking of the end goal, that's very important. And it's very important to, in the process of getting from where you are right now, feeling stuck, to where you want to go, feeling confident, it's important that you know how you want to feel at that end goal, not necessarily how you want to look or how much weight you want to lift at that end goal, but how do you want to feel? Those feelings will be your why, and they will drive you through the days that are really, really hard. They'll drive you through the days when you're feeling stuck and when you're questioning everything. That feeling at the end will be a big force in why you will keep going. I am so honored to be able to have shared my story with you today, and hopefully that confirms that I have been where you are, I have felt how you feel, and there is so much goodness waiting for you on the other side of your goals. I will leave you with this today. It's important to understand that it's hard to trust someone and it's hard to change habits, but what you have been doing up until this point has gotten you to where you are right now. And if you need to change something about where you are right now, you're going to have to do something different to get to the next step. So just remember that as you're going along. Changes need to happen if you want to see change happen. I know that sounds so ridiculous and so redundant and so obvious, but it's something that sometimes we really need to let that sink in and commit to not doing the things we've done in the past that have gotten us to where we are now. But we need to drop those things and move forward with some new habits, new ideas, new knowledge, and just go for it. Thanks for listening to today's show. Go ahead and leave a rating and a review. And of course, follow the podcast so you don't miss out on any future episodes. And I would love it so much if you came to connect with me over on Instagram at Christy Castillo Fit. I will see you next time.